Peace, love and light to you all, family. Welcome to another YouTube video with me, your host, Mathix. Now, today is a special episode. It's my friend's birthday, and you remember, I don't know if you do remember, I did say that on certain days I'm gonna make specially requested videos. So today I hit up Bonnie. I was like, okay, buddy, it's your day. What would you like me to talk about? And he's like, yo, man, talk about time. I was like, time? He's like, time. I'm like, damn, that's a very interesting one. That's a very interesting one indeed. In fact, time is what calls for us to wake our asses up. It's time. That time is now. It's that time to get spiritually inclined. It's that time. So now, getting into the whole conversation about time, woo! So this is actually kind of a synchronicity as well, because the dream I had last night had to do a little bit with what time is. So let's take it to the beginning. What is the beginning? Let's say, in the beginning, there was nothing, right? So now, I want to explain something to you. When they say that in the beginning, there really was no beginning. What they were talking about is the inception. There are many beginnings, but the inception of this universe, the beginning of this particular universe, when they say that in the beginning, there was nothing, what they are talking about is not the fact that there was nothing per se. What they were referring to is that God or source consciousness, the divine mind, had not yet formed itself into any specific thing. So God was not a thing. In the beginning, there was no thing. There was chaos, pure potential. That's what it means. And then when they were talking about the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters, that's the potential. Hover, and then there was a firmament that separated things from above and the things from below. And so right now we are existing below the firmament. So there are things above, and those are those celestial planes. So now, when it comes to time, in Genesis, when the story of Adam and Eve, when they're talking about Adam and Eve, they say that they ate of the fruit of good and evil. What tempted them? The snake. What's the serpent? The serpent represents wisdom and intelligence. Now, what's the whole purpose of a human? The purpose of a human is to come and become God individualized in the flesh, right? So in order for you to self-realize or self-actualize as God, you have to become fermented. You have to come into the cocoon. And the only way in which you can do that is to come into time. So Wisdom being the divine mother, Sophia, wisdom in its divine intelligence understood that in order for us to not become divine robots in a sense like the angels are, because the angels, when it speaks about in the Hebrews that we will be raised high above the angels, that is because the angels exist so close. Even though there's levels to what the angels are, but most of them, or the angels in a sense, they exist close to the vibration of God that they cannot defy, they cannot say no. So Archangel Michael has to do what Archangel Michael does. There is no free will there. As powerful as they are, as supreme as they are, as ahead of time as they are, they do not have what it is that humans have, and that is free will. Gabriel is a messenger. He cannot change tomorrow and say, no, I want to do this. That's his task. So they are guiding forces or guiding principles that help man on its evolution. And thus then now when man evolves to a certain point, man will also now flip the universe and give those higher beings a taste of what it is that we have gotten in the flesh. So it's like a divine brotherhood. So it's like that. It's almost like they are holding a spot and then we are fulfilling a certain task here. And until that task is fulfilled, they act as guides and messengers, and that's all they do. That's what it is. They do what the force or what the vibration of God is. But now, to bring this into a human understanding, in a way that you can understand it, in the Garden of Eden, the serpent, remember, this is symbology. It's all symbolic. The serpent, representing wisdom, the high intelligent mind, understood all of this, that we have to create a being that is self-conscious of itself. And the only way that we can do that is if this being is lowered into the lowest of dimensions. So that's where wisdom comes in. So, ask yourself, why would God create trees knowing that we would eat of those trees? Why put the trees there in the first place? You have to ask these critical questions. It's because we had to eat of that tree. That tree of good and evil was the temptation. And temptation is time. Temptation is time. Time was the temptation. We were tempted to come into time by the serpent, by wisdom. Because only in time can you learn. Only in time can you develop. Because in time, things are slowed down. When you are in your dream states, in the astral worlds, you could be taking a piss. You're pissing, then you sneeze, next thing you're by your grandmother's house, you blink, and then next thing you're in Cape Town. You hear someone calling you. Next thing you are at the pyramids. It's because their time and space are much more malleable. So it's hard to grasp things. That's why it's even hard to remember some of your dreams because of the high, rapid pace that these things happen in. So when you come into physicality, into the physical body, the beauty of it is that now you come into time and where things now become slowed down, you get the chance to learn and to study. So God learns and reflects upon itself in time. And this is why humans are special. And they speak about how man or humanity will be raised high above the angels because we took on the task. We took on that mental to say, okay, no, we are going to come into time. And in time do we contemplate. In time do we think. In time do we learn how to concentrate. We become concentrated in time. When you take auras or a juice that you have to mix water with, we are a highly concentrated juice in time. So if you were to take grapes also and you leave them, what happens? After a long time, they ferment and it becomes wine in time. When you take coal or carbon, you put it under the earth and it undergoes heat and pressure. It turns into a diamond in time. If you take a caterpillar and you put it within a cocoon or it undergoes a cocoon, it turns into a butterfly in time. If you take a divine light, a divine spark, and you encapsulate it into a body, it becomes a Christ-conscious deity or a Christ-conscious figure. A Christ-conscious, God self-aware being. God self-actualized, where? In time. So time is the temptation. Because the root word in temptation is tempo. Tempo in music. When they speak about a tempo, that's time. Temporary. You're existing in a temporary state in time in order to ferment yourself, to become something higher than what it is before you came here. So now remember that in the beginning there was nothing, right? So God had not yet manifested itself into any particular thing. God had no form. And so now God imagined or wished or wanted, desired itself to be something. And what it had imagined itself to be is you. So you are God's imagination manifested. You are a living, walking thought form that has a purpose, and that purpose can be realized or is being realized in time in many dimensions. Now, there are planes where you have no form, and then there are planes of form where now we are existing on earth as what you would say is a highly developed life form. When you look at the intelligence that we have compared to most animals, but there are beings in the universe that look at us in the same way that we would look at an earthworm or lower type of animal. That's how far back to them we are. But we ourselves are rising and we are moving towards those levels, evolving. So in the physical body, you are developing. This is a stage where there's a certain thing that a certain vibration that you must reach while you are existing in this corporeal body. And if you do fulfill that task, when you do transition and you move on into the ancestral realms, and then you move on into higher realms where your soul develops further, your spirit or your spark will take on a higher life form that would have been the evolution from the body. Just in a sense where now a caterpillar, if you were to say that a caterpillar is the earth stage, but the cocoon is the death stage, the butterfly is the heavenly state, or the body of the next state. So your caterpillar vibration is in the body. Right now you are a caterpillar. You are a seed. In the East, man is called Saptapana, which means man plant. So you are planted within a plan, which is called a planet. Within a solar system governed by gods, which are the planets. And within those planets, what happens is that each planet dictates a certain behavior that you must be able to master and to discipline, so that when you do leave the physical body and you go on into higher dimensions, you are able to take the lessons of being physical, and then now you can use them in higher densities where things are moving fast, where manifestation is instant. You think something is there now. So you want to take the pure focus that you have in a physical body, but you want to take it into the higher realms. You see what I'm saying? So this is the task that you must fulfill while you are existing within this physical corporeal body. This is a mission. It's a task where you are developing a certain level of consciousness that you are going to be able to use in the hereafter. This is a system of energy. That's what the world is. It's a system of energy. So here, the simple act of walking, of writing, of playing an instrument, of moving your finger, it looks mundane to you, right? In this particular plane. But do you know how many energies have to go into that? You have to think it, your nervous system, your skeletal system, your muscles, your organs, all these things play a part in you just doing something simple like in a different system with a lesser, denser vibration. Oh my God, the things that you can be able to do. So your spirit, you are learning how to control light, energy in this density. It's like you are under in Dragon Ball Z, when Goku is training under 10 times gravity on King Kai's planet, or Vegeta training under 100 times in that particular thing, or when they are training in the hyperbolic time chamber. That's the similar thing. This is a hyperbolic time chamber. When you come into the body, your spirit becomes quickened. It becomes quickened, it becomes refined. It becomes refined in time. So when you do leave the body, you must exist. You must move on into the higher firmaments. Remember, we are existing below the firmament. So you must still experience life above the firmament. And what you're going to need there is things that you are learning here. Even things that you are not even aware of. A simple act of walking could be something that lets you know how to biolocate in a system that is less denser, in a different planetary system of a lesser density. Now we're talking fifth dimension. So if you're existing in a fifth dimension, and so the planets on the fifth dimensional plane, the methods of moving is different compared to here. So there you can biolocate, you can levitate, you could fly, because now the level in which you would have learned how to control chi, energy, prana, while you were living, accelerates that ability in different densities. So in time, you are learning these systems. So as you grow, you are born, and your soul develops through the chakras, through the ages of 7, right? From 0 to 7, you're developing a part of your brain. Your root chakra, survival, me, myself, and I, all those things, you're learning techniques. 7 to 14 sacral chakra, you are learning how to manipulate, how to become creative, because that's the creative chakra, the chakra of water. Age 21 to 28, heart chakra. So you develop in cycles of 7. You develop in cycles of 7 in time. So in time do you develop, and it's slowed down so that you really master what it is to know about the root chakra. You master the sacral until up to the crown chakra and the chakras beyond, because there's more than 7. But where can you do these things? You can only do them in time. So in the Garden of Eden, when Adam and Eve, when the atom and the electron, when atum, when Ra, when Ptah, when the first beings, when the first builders, the master masons, that's time, coming into time, to study cycles, to know about cycles. You learn that here. You are learning about cycles and energy manipulation. That's the whole point of time. You are learning how to manipulate energy. You are learning how to manipulate the elements to become the avatar. Your body is made out of the elements. Your blood is the water. Your bones, those are the rocks. Come on, your air. Come on. Time. You learn those in time. So time is a tempo. So the temptation was to come into time. But time can also trap you. So you need to escape time by becoming 13. Remember, there's 12 numbers right in a clock. Those are the 12 signs of the zodiac signs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's Gemini, Aquarius, all of these. So you now, as the Christ, must become 13. 13 is the number of the Christ, because 13 is at the center. So if you were to take a balloon, right, to pop the balloon, you gotta pop it somewhere. The needle. So the needle is the Christ. It's what moves and controls or learns the different parts of the God mind. So the God mind has a vibration of 12 in this solar system. That's why the 12 zodiac signs, and that's why 12 tribes of Israel, 12 disciples. It's time. But 13 is what you are aiming for, because 13 stands at the center. And to escape the circle, you need to move into the center so you could pop the balloon by raising your vibration to the Christ consciousness. So you escape what they call the Ouroboros, the snake biting its own tail, where you keep reincarnating. So you came into time through amnesia. In order for you to exist here, you had to forget. And in order for you to go back, you have to remember. There's a nice animation called Full Metal Alchemist, and there they speak about a law. They call it the law of transmutation. And they say that to gain something, you have to give up something of equal importance. So in order for you to gain physicality, to learn certain things, you have to give up the spirit. And in order for you to gain the spirit, you're going to have to give up the material aspects of things. Being fully corporeal. You're going to have to exist in the body, but understand that you are of a higher vibration. So time is a teacher. Time is Saturn. The planet Saturn, they say, is the ruler of time. That's why when Saturn comes back around in your astrology, when you're about 28, 29, 30, especially around 30 years old, that's where that Saturn return, it comes back with all the lessons that you would have learned. With all the lessons that you would have learned to see, okay, did you master things? Did you master your things? And sometimes it's harder for people when they turn this age, because there's things about themselves that they didn't master. So when Saturn comes back around, which deals with lessons, because it's time, people go crazy. Midlife crisis. Oh my God, what's going on? I don't know what to do. It's confused. It's Saturn. It's time. It's time. Saturn is also the planet which there's something they call it the tears of Saturn. And they say that Saturn is burdened because Saturn gives you what you want. So if you want to make yourself a glutton, Saturn will, okay, do that. It keeps giving you what it is that you want until you learn from that. So Saturn also wants to evolve, because these beings are evolving, but we are keeping it back because of the pleasures that we want. The sex, the all these things, the material things. There's higher things that it has to teach you. But they call it the tears of Saturn, because we never want to graduate from this state from the state of Satan, which is 666, which is carbon, which is the beast, which is the body. We don't want to matriculate. We don't want to ascend higher than where it is, where we are now. You see, so there is a vibration. There is a vibration that you must reach in consciousness. And in order for you to reach that vibration, you reach it through time. But you must understand time. That time is an element. And time even within itself doesn't even exist now. Because the past and the future, if I say to you, hey, what do you want to be in the next 5 years? We're not going to travel to 5 years. You're going to tell me now about where or about what it is that you want to do in 5 years. If I ask you what happened 10 years ago, you're going to have to tell me in the now about what happened 10 years ago. So the only time that really ever exists is now. And within now, that's when you can manipulate time, past, and future, because they all here. So you can affect the past and the future. In here, you can learn how to bend time and fold space. Your genes, your DNA can do that. You can manipulate time. You become what they know, or what is called a time lord. That's where now you could travel back in time to your great ancestors and visit the activities that they were doing there. There's another movie that you should check out called Assassin's Creed, where they go into this guy's mind and then they project back in time to see the activities of his forefathers or one of the elders that lived before him. He's accessing that being's memory, and then he has his skills. So you can do that in your DNA, because your DNA holds information from your past lineage. So if you can access that part of your DNA, you access that timeline that particular information was formed in. So time is deep. This whole thing of, oh my Jesus Christ, time is eternal too. You go infinitely back in time, but you also go infinitely into the future, into the distant future, and also into the distant past. But they all clash here in the now. So that's why if you can understand the power of the now, that's it. You are here now. You can manifest things just like this. But time is the lesson. Time is the key. Time is the key. That's where we learn about what it is to be God. We learn it in time. Oh, this subject about time is actually deep. It's actually deep, because then now we can also get into numbers, It's very deep. It's very deep. So I think I should just end it here. I think I should just end it here. Woo! Jesus. Blessed peace, love and light to you all, family. Love and light, love and light, love and light, love and light. Happy birthday, buddy. Happy birthday to you. Hope you had a good one. Keep growing, man. Keep growing, keep growing. And yeah. To everyone who subscribed to the channel, thank you. Share the channel, because we are going to awaken as a people when we begin to understand what it is that we are doing here. There's a purpose. There's a reason as to why you are here. It was known eons ago that you would be here now. You are a child of prophecy, my people. You're all children of prophecy. You just have to know that and activate those parts within yourself that can access this type of information, because this is all our information. It's all our information. It exists inside of us. So peace.